Hello and welcome to Shades of Harassment for Supervisors. At IHOP, we have shared values, one of which is respectful interaction. We treat everyone with respect and value their unique contributions to IHOP's success. Whether you work for IHOP Corp. Or for a franchisee, it is important that you reflect this value in your restaurant. The purpose of this program is to help you understand the enormous risk you are subjecting yourself and the company to if you are unknowingly a harasser. That you understand what is and what is not workplace harassment so you can avoid behavior that might cost you your job. That you understand the enormous risk you are subjecting yourself and the company to if you overlook signs of harassment or if you treat a complaint lightly. IHOP is committed to providing a safe and productive work environment for all the employees. With that in mind, this training is offered to enhance your work environment. We will train your employees that if they have any complaint about harassment or perceived harassment, they can go directly to the harasser and ask them to stop. If they feel at all uncomfortable speaking to the offender, they will report directly to you. Even if someone does not complain to you about workplace harassment, you could be liable if they file a complaint or, worse yet, a lawsuit. You must be on the lookout for signs of workplace harassment. Following is a legal definition of harassment. We do not tolerate harassment of any of our employees, customers, or clients. Any form of harassment which is related to an individual's race, religion, color, sex, orientation, national origin, ancestry, citizenship status, marital status, pregnancy, age, medical condition, handicap, or disability is a violation of this policy and will be treated as a disciplinary matter. For these purposes, the term harassment included slurs and any other offensive remarks, jokes, other verbal, graphic, or physical conduct. As a supervisor, you are strictly liable for having a workplace that is free of any of the behaviors just listed. Now let's look at a form of behavior that you may not have been aware that is harassment.
So, what's up with you and Wade? Is it really over?
Finally. I must have been deranged. What did I ever see in that guy? And of course now, I have to see him every day at work.
Didn't I warn you about dating at work? But no, you were in love. Oh my God.
Hey, wait. I hear that Shannon dumped you.
Dump me? She didn't dump me. It was a mutual understanding. It just wasn't working out, man.
Oh, a mutual understanding. Yeah, right.
You know what I heard, buddy?
What?
I heard you were man enough for her. Know what I mean?
Well, now that Shannon's a free woman, maybe I'll show her what it's like to be with the real man.
Hey, cut it out, guys, all right? It's hard enough dealing without your crap.
We're just trying to help you get over her.
Don't you have guests to wait on or something?
Guess to wait on. Right after I grab Shannon's number. Girl's about to get lucky.
Oh.
Come on, Joe. Watch me sweep this woman off her feet.
It's really uncomfortable, and the worst is when, we have to do side work together, or I have to seat his section, and, if we don't have to speak, it's okay, but every time we have to work together, it's really tense.
Well, it's just very uncomfortable. And you want to make sure that when you come to work that, you're very professional and you just do your job and you do it well. But when you have personal problems, it really does affect your attitude. And it's all about customer service here. So I told her it wouldn't be a good idea.
Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should go talk to him because as it is right now, to see them together and to see Joe just laughing about it like it's no big deal, it's going to create some serious hostility.
Yeah, I found out that Wade went to the supervisor and complained, but I think it was all Patrick's fault, not mine. I was just asking him questions about his relationship. I didn't do any harm.
One of the most important distinctions for you to make about workplace harassment is whether the conduct is welcome or unwelcome. Was Shannon's behavior welcome? How do you know? Discussions about another employee are usually unwanted by that employee. As well, it is probably unwanted by others who are here to work. In this type of situation, it is crucial that you as the manager stop the unwanted behavior and tell all the employees to leave their personal lives outside the workplace. Your employees have the right to come to work, do their jobs, and go home without being harassed and without being the victim of gossip and rumor. If an employee is gossiping about another employee of the company, it can subject you and the company to harassment lawsuits. Everyone at IHOP is entitled to be treated with respect. People's dating practices should not be a subject that is discussed at work. When the conversation about someone's personal life becomes unwanted and repeated, it is unacceptable. You can be personally named in a lawsuit for failing to stop harassing behavior. If you observe behavior that you perceive as unwelcome, then you should help stop it. Don't be someone who overlooks something because you thought it was trivial. The law doesn't care if you or one of your employees didn't intend to harass. If someone else sees your behavior or an employee's behavior as harassing, you could be subjecting yourself, IHOP, or your franchisee to a lawsuit. As a manager, you must keep an eye out for all potentially harassing behavior. That includes gossip.
Mr. Borelli, I need to take a break right now.
The lunch rush is about to start. Can it wait?
No, it can't. Mr. Borelli, you know that.
Okay.
Thank you.
My feeling that I have to take a break.
Guys, quit your clowning and get back to work.
Yeah, right. Why doesn't he tell her to get back to work?
Yeah, Mr. Borelli, we're being discriminated against here. We have rights too, you know. This I need a break routine is getting really old.
Yeah, why should we have to do her work for her? Just because she has a disability.
Patrick?
I mean, every time my hemorrhoids flare up, you don't...
Patrick.
Hey, give me a break. I mean, everybody's got an excuse around here except guys like Joe and me. We're doing your work. Don't you realize that?
Patrick.
What I hope Mr. Borelli does is nicely explain to Patrick how I have a situation that is beyond my control, but I don't want him to reprimand him or yell at him because that's just going to make Patrick more angry at me, and he'll just take it out on me at work when Mr. Borelli's not looking.
Was the men's behavior welcome? Of course not. Retaliating against a disabled employee who receives accommodations is against the law. This type of behavior can be characterized as hostile environment harassment. The disabled person might be embarrassed or uncomfortable asking you or other employees to stop. They might squirm uncomfortably or walk out on the ribbing. You must be proactive, intervene, and stop any unwarranted kidding in the workplace. We want to utilize all of the talents of our diverse workplace. Providing accommodations for our employees with disabilities is one of the ways that we meet that goal. Failing to accommodate employees with disabilities prevents us from utilizing their talents. It is also against the law. Now let's observe Mr. Borelli intervening with the men.
Now you know why you're here, right?
Come on, Mr. Borelli. We were just kidding around. But she's been getting special treatment here since the day she started. And that is not fair.
Patrick, you can't joke around like that anymore. Our company wants to provide a work environment where all our employees can contribute their talents. And if that means that some employees need special accommodations, well, then we want to provide them.
Great. I'm on board. But she takes more breaks than anyone.
The laws have changed. The Americans with Disability Act protects all our employees with disabilities. It requires that we make accommodations for any employee with disabilities.
Well, whatever that means.
Well, it means that Shannon is entitled to certain accommodations because of the disability she has. So when you tease her or you embarrass her, you're breaking the law. Yeah. Now I'm going to have to document this counseling session. And if I hear that you're still teasing her or harassing her, I'm going to have to take more drastic action.
Mr. B, okay, this is nuts. We were just messing around. She doesn't mind a little joking.
Can I be honest with you, Patrick?
Yeah.
I talked to Shannon and she does mind. She says you're embarrassing her and you're making it difficult for her to work here. Our company wants to provide assistance to any employee that needs it. And I would hope if you needed a certain accommodation, we'd provide it for you.
Yeah, whatever.
And Patrick, if I hear you're taking this out on Shannon, you're going to have to look for another job. Are we clear?
We're clear.
Thank you.
Well, they've made it pretty clear how they feel about it. I wish they knew that I would give up the brakes in a heartbeat if it meant I could just be normal like everybody else. It's embarrassing enough that I have to that I have to bring attention to myself.
This leads to the next important distinction about harassment. What makes this type of harassment illegal is that it's based on a protected class. Some questions to ask yourself to determine if the behavior is based on a protected class are: is this a sexual advance? Is it racial, based on national origin, age-based, religious, based on pregnancy or marital status? Is it based on citizenship, veteran status, disability, or a medical condition? Is the behavior causing a hostile workplace environment? Allison's behavior in the first scene was sex-based and unwanted. The men's behavior in the second scene was disability-based and definitely unwanted. We are now going to observe another situation. Remember to keep in mind the following two questions. Is the behavior unwanted or unwelcome? Is the behavior based on a protected class?
Wow, what a pretty cake. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. This is really great.
Of course,
Thanks.
Elise, we are terribly sorry that we could not find a cake big enough for all your candles.
Thanks.
Hey, Elise, read the card I got you. Right there, right there. Come on, read it.
Even though you're 50, Elise, you're still hot stuff. Only now it comes in flashes.
Now, look, don't forget your present. You know I wouldn't just get you a card. I gotta get you a little present. I put a lot of thought into this.
I bet you did, Larry.
It should come in real helpful, real handy.
Let's see.
Now, look, that should be able to help you serve guests a little bit faster.
Where'd you get an idea that's so tacky?
Well, you know, Larry, we can always just seem to count on you to push the bounds of taste.
Oh, come on, guys. You know, she's always struggling with those trays. Y'all see her. I'm just trying to loosen the mood a little bit. Come on.
So, Elise, how's it feel? Elise?
Hey, where you going? The party's just getting started.
Elise?
Thanks, Larry. That's just what I'm afraid of.
I really don't know. I was just told by Samantha that we were going to have a party for her today, so I just showed up. I decided I was going to go and get her some gifts. I thought it would be a little funny, so that's what I did, and I showed up because I know she's been around for a long time, and I just wanted to pay some respects, but still try to have fun with it.
I think that there are some things that Elise can't do as well as some of the younger or stronger members of the team, but in what she can't do as far as strength or volume, she makes up for it with great customer service. She's fantastic with the customers. She has the longest list of regulars at this restaurant, so she certainly earns her keep. She certainly holds her own.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I go to the gym 3 times a week. I feel really healthy, and I think, frankly, that my age and my wealth of experience that I've had just living is something that I can give the customers. And it's not all young people who come in here either. So that's something I feel that it's good to have a variety of ages to help them.
Were the age-based jokes unwelcome? You bet. You might see employees' behavior as friendly horseplay or joking. A plaintiff in a lawsuit can characterize this exact same behavior as harassment. It is important for you as a manager to educate employees as to the potentially different perceptions about what they call joking or kidding. Was the employee's behavior in this scene based on a protected class? You bet. Elise is over 40 and therefore falls into a protected class due to her age. Jokes and kidding about old folks will be treated by the company as harassment, even if it was supposed to be all in fun. Did this behavior cause a hostile work environment for Elise? Perhaps it did. You can imagine that Elise will be more sensitive now to age-based comments or stereotypes. Work could become uncomfortable for her. We do not want any employees to feel uncomfortable or that their contribution is unwanted at this company. If you feel any employee's behavior is unwelcome and based on a protected class, intervene on the company's behalf and stop it. If you work in a company-owned restaurant, any complaints to you about harassing behavior or any observances you make should be reported to Human Resources. If you work in a franchise restaurant, you should follow your company policy and/or report these types of complaints to your franchisee. Now let's look at another situation.
Hi. Right this way. This way.
Hey, I got this one. You look swamped. Follow me. Sorry about the wait.
What was that about?
Right here. Waiter should be coming to take your order in a minute. Hope you guys have a nice meal. All right?
Hey, Larry.
What's up?
What's up with seating that couple in my section?
Oh, your section was next to be seated.
Look, Larry. Just seat them in your own section, okay, if you want to do me a favor.
Look, man, my section was just seated. What's your problem? Are you too busy or something?
Come on, Larry. You know black people don't tip. Don't take it personal, man. It's the truth.
How is that? Do we walk in with a sign on our forehead or something? Look, you need to check yourself. Somebody might take that as a stereotype.
Look, black people don't tip as well as white people do, okay? It's a fact.
Look, you're tripping. Won't you just do your job and shut up?
Hey, relax, man. Okay, I was just joking. Don't get so serious. I just thought maybe you'd have better luck in your own section.
You know what? Keep your thoughts to yourself.
Hey, look, just chill out, man.
You chill out.
If I offended Larry, I would feel terrible about it. I would. Larry's a good guy. He's a good egg.
I believe that people aren't racist in the company, but I mean, there's always stereotypes no matter what, and I don't think they did it on purpose. It was just pretty subconscious. I know Shannon and Patrick, and they're pretty nice people, but it's just, I guess, how they came up or whatever it is. And I know they didn't really mean to do that and hurt anybody intentionally, but they just, I think, need to be more vigilant about what they're doing.
I was surprised that they tipped me quite well. Pleasantly surprised, obviously. You know, maybe that'll make a difference later on. I don't know. I mean, maybe it will.
Were the server's stereotypical comments welcome? Of course not. If an employee is treating persons of one race differently than persons of another race, that could be perceived as unwanted and harassing. We will be educating your employees that stereotypes about different races can be seen as harassing. Comments that lump people by race or by protected class, such as "you people," could be seen as harassing. Even persons overhearing the comments might perceive the comments as harassing. Was Patrick's behavior based on a protected class? In other words, did he treat any person differently based on age, race, sex, religion, national origin, physical or mental challenge, medical condition, pregnancy, or marriage? Does his behavior create a hostile work environment for Larry? It does. Larry is trying to focus on the work at hand, and Patrick is making judgments about guests based on their race. Making stereotypes about groups of people leads to harassment. It causes enormous stress and loss of productivity in the workplace. You can see after this vignette just how it affects employees. As a manager or assistant manager, you can become individually named in a lawsuit if you either create or tolerate a hostile work environment. Stories, fantasies, pictures, jokes, and stereotypical comments based on protected classes should be left outside the workplace. If the employees involved are offended by the behavior, or if the people who overhear the conversation are offended by the behavior, that's harassment, and it's your responsibility to stop it. This brings us to the third and last distinction about harassment. The behavior affects a term, condition, or privilege of employment. One of the terms or conditions that the law has established is that you are treated equally regardless of sex, sexual orientation, nationality, race, religion, pregnancy, veteran status, disability, marital status, or age at work. That means you have the rights to equal pay, benefits, and promotion based on your work performance. But to put it simply, you have the right to come to your work, do your job, and go home without being harassed. Now let's look at two different situations where harassment affects the terms, conditions, and privileges of employment.
Can I get some help, guys?
Wait, I'm out of here.
Oh, you should have seen him. Stupid. If only you could have seen. The door?
What's your problem? Problem? What type of problem are you referencing, Joe, dear?
Forget about it, Joe. Patrick's just being a jerk.
I'm not blind. I see all of you mocking me behind my back.
We're not mocking you. We're just playing with you. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Girlfriend.
Elise? At least have the guts to say what you're thinking to my face.
Oh, you wouldn't want to hear it, Joe. Trust me.
Yeah, at least I don't think Joe needs to hear everything you think.
No. Go ahead, Elise. You've obviously been waiting for this opportunity for a long time.
Come on, girl. We have work to do. Come on, Patrick, you too. We have work to do.
We rubbed him the wrong way. I think that if Allison and I hadn't been laughing and, you know, if we'd been on his side, probably we could have, you know, just said, cool it, Joe, it's okay. It's not a problem. He's just being silly today or something. But we didn't, you know. We were sort of ganging up on him a bit, and I think that's why he felt so bad.
I reported Patrick for being ignorant and for harassing me on the job. You know, it's against the law what he's doing, and he needs to know that his job could be in jeopardy for that.
Well, I felt that it was warranted because, I mean, Patrick was being stupid. I mean, he didn't have to do that. I mean, Joe is very sensitive, and I understand that.
He took it too far, I thought. You know, I was just messing around with him. I've known him for a while. I've been working here 6 months. Everything's cool. And he overreacted. And I was probably out of line. You know, I get that a lot these days. But we're just, you know, we're just messing around. We're just buddies. It's the way it was. But it bothered me that he reported it. I mean, we've all, you know, played games and played jokes with each other before. I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal.
Can you see that Allison, Patrick, and Elise's behavior is unwelcome, is based on a protected class, and affects the terms of employment? What terms, conditions, and privileges of Joe's employment are being affected? Joe has the right to come to work, do his job, and go home without having to listen to mocking, mimicking, or snickering from his coworkers. As a supervisor, you are required to intervene when you hear of any such behavior to protect the rights of all our employees. Your employees will be trained that if they feel they are being singled out or stereotyped by a coworker, they are to immediately report their concerns to a management person, franchisee, or to human resources for company-owned restaurants. They will be told that they do not have to complain directly to the harassers, although they can if they want. The company expects you to intervene and stop the behavior from reoccurring. Now let's look at your final example of workplace harassment.
Good morning, Mr. Borelli.
Hey, Allison, come here. I got a good one for you.
Huh?
Right? You know how they came up with the name for PMS?
Ha ha, very funny.
Come on, let me finish my joke. Mad cow disease was already taken.
Ha ha. Look, I gotta get going.
Allison, it's just a joke. Where's your sense of humor? Lighten up. My wife thought it was hysterical.
Look, Mr. Borelli, I have work to do.
Was Mr. Borelli's behavior unwelcome? You bet it was. Was his behavior based on a protected class? Yes, it was based on gender. Did Mr. Borelli's joking affect any of the terms, conditions, or privileges of the workplace? It certainly did. Allison thinks she has to work in an environment where she has to put up with sexual jokes as a condition of maintaining her employment. We don't want any of our employees to feel this way. You have the right to say whatever you want in this country, or receive whatever you want over the internet, but not in the workplace. Not only are you endangering yourself by repeating such jokes, your job as a supervisor is to make sure that other people do not repeat these types of jokes. As a supervisor, you will be held to a higher standard. Jokes and comments from a coworker, vendor, guest, or a supervisor that are based on gender, race, religion, national origin, or any other protected class will not be tolerated. Male bashing or female bashing is harassment and will not be tolerated. Jokes about age, religion, racial differences, pregnancy, Marriage or physical or mental disabilities will not be tolerated. Horseplay or sharing of stories about different protected classes are unacceptable against the law and will not be tolerated. Treating one group of people differently because of their ethnicity, race, religion, or sex is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. Use the following guidelines to develop a safe, productive work environment and to protect yourself from claims or termination of employment. Never assume that friendliness means that you can act with your employees as you would a friend. You must maintain a professional demeanor with employees. Tell your employees the same thing. Just because no one has complained about joking, kidding, or advances doesn't mean that they're not feeling harassed. Don't assume that your behavior is okay just because no one has objected to it. Be sensitive to others and act appropriately. If something you want to say or do is not appropriate for a professional environment, don't say it, don't do it. If your employees say or do something that is not appropriate for a professional environment, you must stop it. Ask yourself, would you say or do this if your spouse or loved one was next to you? Would you want your spouse, children, mother, or loved ones to have to put up with this behavior? If you're still in doubt, don't say it or do it. If you have to ask yourself, should I be doing this? The answer is no. If someone indicates that your behavior is unwanted or objectionable, stop it immediately and don't do it again. We hope that this program has helped to clarify what is and what isn't workplace harassment. Being friendly and having a good time at work is not harassment. All of the examples you've seen in this program are harassment. Be friendly and have a good working relationship with your employees. Don't create a negative environment by engaging in unwanted conduct that is based on a protected class. What this program is really about is respecting workplace differences. By treating everyone in the workplace with dignity and respect, regardless of their sex, race, color, nationality, or religion, this supports our shared values and contributes to IHOP's success. If you do this, you will make this a fun place to work and will make us all more successful in serving our guests and in achieving our mission to be #1 in family dining.